One of the things I wanted to ask you about is you see like this is being pushed commercially now is like this mouth tape for when you're sleeping. So you don't breathe through your mouth. So you just breathe through your nose. Are you aware of that? Is that something you use in practice?
Yep. Oh, yes, for sure. Mouth tape can be absolutely life-changing for a lot of people, especially I would say people with CPAP usage. Gentleman that I worked with, he came to me with sleep apnea issues and a lot of other illness, hypertension, and tired all the time. And that's one of the things that we did for him is mouth taping. And that significantly helped him tolerate his CPAP. The thing I will say about taping is I know for myself, I tried taping years ago and I was just like, this is freaking me out. I'm not doing it. And I was just using like some medical tape over my mouth. But Patrick McCowan, he developed something called myotape. So the whole point of taping, it's not to like, make it feel like a hostage in any way. It's all it needs to do is get the lips opposed. And so what his tape does, and, I'm not getting anything from this. He, I think, had a brilliant idea. It's very much like a kinesio tape. So it's very stretchable and it has a hole in the middle. So it's very friendly to use. And I do think it has a lot of advantages for helping get that behavior of breathing through the nose more entrained by closing the mouth. The other thing is with kids, what we'll do is use that during the day. Like say if they're doing homework, watching TV, put the myotape on during the day. So again, you're trying to get neurologically change the behavior of how the person's breathing.
Okay. Most people think that we actually need more oxygen, right? So even in my field, like in combating panic attacks, we're doing diaphragmatic breathing, but we're trying to increase the amount of oxygen, right? But you explain this carbon dioxide paradox. And I think this is like something that's probably new to most people. Can you just explain what that means and how this acts as like a foundation for what we're going to learn?
Yeah. So there is a paradox. The less you breathe, the more you oxygenate your body. I'll say it again.
Yeah, you're gonna have to repeat that again.
I'm gonna say it again
this time for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. The less you breathe, the more you oxygenate your body. And I mean the tissues, like your whole body. And that happens scientifically for two reasons. And again, learned this in medical school, but it was forgotten. CO2, again, getting back to one of the foundations of Buteyko is working with this carbon dioxide and getting your brain, which is the brainstem, which is the respiratory center in your brain, to be less sensitive to the carbon dioxide levels. So going back to the oxygenation, when your CO2 is higher, what you're doing is two things. One, you're vasodilating, you're making the blood vessels larger. Low CO2 does the opposite. It constricts, it reduces blood flow. So you're dilating the blood vessels. So you have 50,000 miles of blood vessels and you can affect them with your breath, all of them. The other thing CO2 does, it's called the Bohr equation. And this was from 1904. He discovered that in the presence of CO2, the hemoglobin molecule, which is carrying the oxygen, will be more readily to release the oxygen to the tissues in the presence of CO2. So I'll say that part again. In the presence of CO2, there's an equation where the hemoglobin molecule, which is carrying the oxygen that you took into your lungs, into the bloodstream, will release that more readily to the tissues.